Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that the smartest, most brilliant people you know don't really sound like it? In fact, a lot of the time, they sound kind of simple. Well, today, we're going to dig into why that is, and it's probably not what you think.
So yeah, this is the big question, isn't it? It's this fascinating paradox that really goes against everything we're taught about how to seem intelligent. We think that using big words and, these super complex sentences, that's the sign of a great mind. But what if the exact opposite is true?
Let's just tackle this myth head on. It is a huge trap, and so many of us fall into it. I mean, think about it. You're in a job interview, you're giving a presentation, you're even just talking with friends, and there's this pressure, right? This pressure to sound smart. We've somehow gotten it into our heads that to be taken seriously, we need to bust out the jargon and build these elaborate, winding arguments. But honestly, this whole approach usually just backfires. It creates confusion, not connection, and we're about to see exactly why. We can call this the sounding smart myth, and it's really built on a total misunderstanding of what communication is even for. It all boils down to one simple question. What's your goal?
Because that one goal is going to send you down one of two totally different paths. Path number one is setting out to impress. This is where you pull out all the complex jargon. And what does that do? It creates confusion. It makes people feel kind of dumb, and ultimately it just alienates them. Sure, they might be nodding along, but trust me, they're not really with you. Then there's the second path, to connect. And this approach, it's all about using simple language to create real clarity, to actually engage people. One path builds a wall, the other one builds a bridge.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's the perfect mindset shift. I mean, think about the best teachers or leaders you've ever had. They didn't talk down to you, did they? No, they lifted you up. They had this amazing ability to explain something really complex in a way that made you feel smart for getting it. And that, right there, is the real goal of communication.
So, if the goal is connection, not just showing off, what does that really tell us about intelligence? Well, this isn't just some nice fuzzy idea. It was actually Albert Einstein who famously said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." And that points to a totally different and way more powerful kind of intelligence.
You see, this incredible ability to simplify is a huge part of what we call emotional intelligence. And let's be super clear, this is not about dumbing things down. Not at all. It's about having such a deep, profound understanding of a topic and being so aware of your audience that you can translate all that complexity into pure clarity. Now that is a rare and powerful skill. So let's totally reframe how we think about this. True genius isn't about flexing your vocabulary. It's about distilling complexity down to its clearest, most essential form. It's about building that bridge of understanding we were just talking about. And that means you have to prioritize connecting with people over satisfying your own ego. And please, if you remember one thing, remember this. Communicating simply is a sign of deep mastery, not a lack of knowledge. Seriously, anyone can make something sound complicated. It takes a real expert to make it sound simple. Okay, so this all sounds great, right? But how do you actually do it? How can you take this idea and turn it into your own personal superpower? Let's get practical.
All right, here it is, the simple fix. You have to make a conscious choice to use simplicity as your bridge for connection. So instead of asking yourself, how can I sound smart? You start asking, how can I be best understood? It changes everything.
And here's how you actually build that bridge. It's really just 3 steps. First, and this is non-negotiable, you have to truly understand your topic on a super deep level. You just can't simplify what you don't fully get yourself. Second, you've got to find the absolute core message. Ask yourself, if my audience could only remember one single thing, what would it be? Start right there. And third, build out from that core using simple, accessible language. Words that welcome people in instead of shutting them out. And the difference in the impact this makes? It's not small, it is staggering. When you communicate with all that needless complexity, your chance of making a genuine connection just plummets. But when you choose simplicity, bam! You create this incredibly strong link with your audience. The message actually lands, it sticks, and people feel seen and respected in the process. So I'll leave you with this to think about. In your work, in your family, just in your life, who is that one person or that one group you've been struggling to reach? And what do you think might happen if this week you decided to build them a bridge of simplicity instead of another wall of complexity? Go give it a try. Go out there and connect.